As we've said, many BLC students have complicated lives, and some of them seem to disappear from class and then they don't respond to us, and then all of a sudden they might reappear. And we think, oh, we can't drop them from the class because they came last week or they came 2 weeks ago. They might come again. This periodic dropping in and out can really affect the learning environment and the teaching environment for the teacher and for the other students. So this year, BLC has a policy that students who miss more than 4 classes in a month will lose their space in the class. And when a teacher tells the registrar that the student is dropped from the class, then the registrar will send out a note by text and email, the student's choice of text and email, saying, it sounds like you're really busy and can't go to class, so we're going to give your space to another student. Teachers have discretion to make exceptions. So I wanted to talk a bit about why this policy is important and how we can have empathy for our students and yet still adhere to a policy like this with some exceptions perhaps, and what this means for teachers.
Well, I really love this policy because having students that come occasionally is incredibly disruptive. It holds the whole class back. It's frustrating for the other students when, somebody shows up and can't keep up. One of the things I've done is I think every single message I send to students, I include, please tell me if you can't come to class.
Mhm.
And I found that and if somebody misses one class, they get a reminder from me. We missed you in class. Please tell me if you can't come to class. I found that after one or maybe two, the second reminder is a little bit escalated. We missed you in 2 classes. Do you need a class at another time? Here's the homework. We hope to see you next Tuesday, Thursday. After 1 or 2, they tend to be more regular in attending, or they tell me, my work has changed, my shift has changed, I can't come anymore, or, something has gone on. They tell me what's going on. And often, I suggest that they either try to find another time or this isn't a good time. You can try again, later when your schedule changes, when your health changes. I'll sometimes say, I worry about you. You weren't in class. I'm worried. That shocked them, that a teacher would be concerned that they didn't come to class.
But
I
they're part of
agree.
your community.
I
Yeah.
agree. Like, I think that it's really important for these students to know this isn't a drop-in center. This is a community, and your attendance impacts everybody. And you were missed. We noticed. I found the same thing. Every time they miss, I send them an email and say, everything okay? We missed you.
And I'm always like, the class missed you. We missed your presence. I don't put in the email, but we can't be a community with people who are just dropping in. And it affects the level of safety for the students in the class, the emotional safety for students in the class.
And there are drop-in programs in the area. So if what they need is a drop-in program, we can refer them to drop-in programs. That is not what this is.
If students are missing a lot of classes, and they may have awesome excuses, important excuses, life excuses for missing classes, but if they're missing a lot of classes, they are not learning, and it affects the rest of the class. And we can, if any teachers are not sure where to refer them, they should just contact their registrar or contact me, and we can refer those students to drop-in programs.
My one concern with this issue is when students have to go home to their home countries for a month for their visa requirements. So I have always made exceptions when they go home to their home countries, because sometimes they have to legally.
As long as they have good attendance before they go,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And when they come back, I've had students who say, I have to go home to my home country to see my family, and it's sort of open-ended, or it's going to be more than a month. If we have students on the wait list, let's give those spaces to some other student. And I say, when you come back, contact me. You don't have to reapply, but contact me and we'll get you into a class.
Because they are taking the space that somebody else could use.
Another issue is Ramadan. So especially if it's an evening class, they can't come to class during Ramadan. So
I had a
Yeah.
student who had a C-section and she had some complications, and so she tried valiantly to, she'd come and she'd like, so I let her go for a month, and then she came back. She was a very, very strong student beforehand, and that kind of situation was clear cut for me.